And just like that, we're live, and we appreciate all of you guys for joining us on the Bama Tailgate Show. Happy Mother's Day. That's Shank, and I'm Mick. We're going to get this thing started. If you got questions, you got comments you want to make, you want to talk about Alabama football, you want to talk about the NIL, you want to tell a Mother's Day story, all of that stuff is permitted today on our first ever live show. All right, here we go. I got to get my people to put you in the open, man. Got to get you in the open. You got some clips for me, Shank?
Hey, man. Hey. I'm out here. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, well, good to see you again. We got so much to talk about. Good to see you guys in the comments section, too. Like and subscribe the video and comment. Yeah, we are live today. And it is 9 a.m. Central. That is the right time. Thank you, Moon. We were a little late, but you can cut us some slack. We were like 2 minutes late, but this is YouTube. You can be late on here. It's not like network television. Well, look, it's Mother's Day. I got to tell you, for me, and I'll share this, my grandmother was really like my mom. I loved my grandmother. She always took good care of me. When I think of Mother's Day, I think of her. And just one of these like old school ladies that just, I don't know, just always knew what I wanted to do and did it, you know, whether that was cook the right foods or the right presents on the holidays. Man, I miss her so much, man, you know. And then you get older and you have your own kids and you're like trying to teach them about Mother's Day. So my kid took him out yesterday to do some shopping for his mom. So happy Mother's Day, moms.
Nice. Absolutely happy Mother's Day. I'm right there with you on the grandmother part, man. I miss my grandma dearly. She was like my mom, but, you know, I have an adopted mom. I still have my real mom. And so I'm a lucky man in that aspect, you know. So shout out to you, Mom. Love y'all. Like, absolutely, you know. It's everything y'all do. We'd be here all day.
Yeah, I know.
We'd be here all day. We need a separate show, you know, just to give thanks. And
Yeah.
to my wife, man, just shout out her because she balances everything so well with the girls. You know, 2 girls at home. That's why my hair is going gray at the ripe age of 31.
Right.
But she's amazing, man. So shout out to you, Victoria. Love you.
AK's got the Bear Bryant quote. Have you called your mama today? You know, like so then in this state, you know, part of that is kind of just bred in us because I mean, I see that. I know that's a Bear Bryant quote right there. You know, say that. You know, like Gary Hughes told me one time, he's on with the Cubs. He was a longtime scout. He's like, if you ever think of somebody and they pop in, you know how when people pop in your head, like I hadn't talked to this person in a while, or I just, you know, he's always call them. You know, like don't sit there and argue with your brain. Just make sure you call them or send. And now we got text messages. It's so much easier. Hey, man, I'm just thinking of you. Love you. Thank you for being there. You know, and I think when I think of Mother's Day, I think of my grandmother. I don't even think she would believe some of the things that have happened to me in my life, you know, since she died in 2010. But, you know, she always believed in me. So I appreciate that a lot, you know, and when I like sit here today, before we even really get to talking about that, that's my advice to all you guys is when you get that urge in your head, you just don't know how quick life is. You know, we found out with big sexy Elmo this year, you know, one day's here, one day's gone, you know, so just make sure that like a day like today, give them a call. So, all right, well, let's talk some football, Shank. Let's switch gears here.
Let's do it.
So how about the college football world could be saved by Alabama again, which it seems like it's always like the nucleus of college football seems to always rotate around Tuscaloosa, right? Like this. So President Trump comes to campus for graduation, and Saban comes there, and then they're in the back talking. And we should have known Saban had an agenda here. Hey, let me get involved in this NIL. Let me fix this thing before college football is ruined. I don't know if that's really what happened, but it looks like that President Trump's going to put a panel together, and they're going to try to fix college. And I wouldn't even say not even college, and high school sports too, from kind of being overtaken right now with NIL. You know, I saw Charles Barkley's like, look, I'll give to, the schools for academics, and I'll give to people and all this, but I'm not paying for these guys to come in 1 year and be free agents at the end of the year and take money. And I love Charles Barkley. I agree with everything he said.
That's right.
Look.
Hey, look, man, just the possibility of NIL to high school makes my stomach upset. It's just, I want no parts of that at all, dog. Like we've already seen what it's done to college, and in just a short amount of time that it's been alive. But um, we all know that Saban's not stepping into any room without a plan to get some type of benefit to himself. You know, and in this situation, I'm absolutely loving to see it because I, I do think college football needs some legislation going on, man, and what better guy to get that going than Sabo stepping in the room with the president,
Yeah.
man. And so if we get this, if he makes this happen, he needs to put his name on the bill or something. Just to add one more thing to his legacy, just so I can say, yeah, my coach is better than yours.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because he's already the greatest coach of all time, and now we're gonna add a little landscape change in college football legislation to that. That'll be glorious, man. But it has to happen. It has to happen because like we said before, man, so much money exchanging hands around here, and just so many moving pieces, and guys don't have anything to put in place that stops them from taking the money and running every single time. And most recently, I like to think back to the kid that left Tennessee and his brother left Arkansas.
Nico.
And, yeah, and just like his brother had just got to Arkansas and got his NIL money and just absolutely hosed him. Like, I'm just like, God, that has to suck. And there's like
Yeah.
nothing you can do about it right now, right? And so, hopefully, we can see Saban and get that ball rolling along, man. And hopefully, University of Alabama gets all the credit for that.
I would love that. Did you see the video that they do those fake AI videos? They're like coaches press conferences. You know what I'm
Yeah,
talking about?
yeah,
They had the
yeah.
one when Proctor left Iowa and the coach is up there talking about he took all of our NIL money, but he didn't get our playbook. You know the one I'm talking about? It's so funny because I thought it was real at first, right?
Yeah.
And then somebody was like, "Hey, that's not real, dude." Like, and I was like, that was like my first taste of AI changing but the whole thing was the Iowa coach was like, "Well, he got all of our NIL money, and then but he didn't get our playbook, and he never, you guys know this. He transferred there and then transferred back, so he never even played a game there. He just got there and realized I'm going back to where I was."
Yeah, man, I'd love to pick his brain on that. I wonder, I wonder what the backstory to that is. He got all the way to Iowa. He just stepped on campus and be like, "Yeah, dog, I got to water the grass myself over here."
They want us to do what?
They want us to do what? Yeah, I'm not doing
Yeah.
that. And Buddy just on the first jet back to Tuscaloosa, and just back to the greenest pastures he'll ever see in his life. Like I tell people, man, like everybody thinks the grass is green on the other side until they realize they got to water it themselves, right?
Yeah.
Like so much stuff is done for you in T-Town, just like the amount of resources are ridiculous. Yeah, it's just like it's almost like having a Tesla at some point, man. It's just like just keep your hands on the wheel just enough not to go off in the ditch, and you'll be all right.
Right, just to keep us legal.
Hey, that's it, man. That's it.
Head up, eyes
And
on the road. Yeah, I
like,
think Coker was like talking about how good the treatment is at Alabama. I mean, you know, with the food and the you know, you get hurt, getting you fixed up, and the living arrangements, and then, you know, he had been at Florida State, and I think he liked Florida State, but I don't think it compared to Alabama, and a lot of that had to do with Mal Moore, really, and Nick Saban, you know, because Mal Moore wanted to rebuild the entire stadium and the infrastructure. And what he did, which was genius, is that he didn't build it up to the standard. He built it above the standard, knowing that that eventually, you know, everybody would try to catch up. And then, you know, when he went out and hired Nick Saban, it was like they put together this amazing car, and then they went out and got the best race car driver of all time to drive the best race car. And then, you know, and then all of a sudden Alabama started smoking everybody. You know, so that's kind of where that went. I think Shank's frozen right now. Hopefully we'll get him back. But interesting. I love the comments, guys. Like and subscribe. Make sure that you give us a thumbs up on the video as we hang out with you on this Mother's Day for our live Sunday show. Stan Roberts, great question here, a great comment. Interesting how we have opponents on the field, Tuberville and Saban, working to fix this NIL debacle. And look, I think it's great too. You know, I think it's great too. I mean, it is a debacle, the whole NIL situation. And I think that when you look at where things are right now, it is crazy that Tuberville beat us. What was it, like 6 straight? Bama's beaten Auburn 5 straight. It's been great. It has been great. It's been some tough games, but they've been all going in our favor, and I hope that continues. But that and it was that success that led Mal Moore to go out and hire Nick Saban. You know, so he hired Saban based on the fact that Alabama couldn't beat Auburn or LSU, and, you know, and lost games against Tennessee too, right? I think Shula finally beat Tennessee, but Tennessee was going down at that point, and you know, but it wasn't like we saw the meteoric rise that we saw under you know, under Saban. I think we got Shank back. Let's pop him back in the screen. There he is. What's up, man?
all right.
Back in. That. But we're talking about how it is kind of crazy that Tommy Tuberville beat Alabama so much that Mal Moore went out and hired Nick Saban. And then Saban, in one of the great parties that I ever missed, I'm going to tell you guys this story. I was working for Crimson Tide Sports Network, and I had the task of broadcasting the women's basketball, and they would always be gone for the Iron Bowl for some crazy reason. So we're coming back from a trip when the Iron Bowl was there, and Alabama whooped the crap out of Auburn. It was like 38-0. Glenn Coffey was just freight training them. And then Saban even took his foot off the gas. I wish Saban would have put like 80 on him that day, but he didn't, because he's a gentleman and a scholar. But I got back the next morning, like, and the whole city looked like I missed the party. I mean, just trash everywhere. People like just hung over and like sleeping under trees, and, you know, like, you know, just shit everywhere. And I'm like, I missed the party. And that was Saban getting rid of Tommy Tuberville. That was the end of Tuberville. Now he's in a Senate, and but they're teaming up together, which is crazy. And then Saban went on that incredible run. But that win to me was the win. You know, a lot of people say that the win that kind of opened up that dynasty was beating Florida in 2009. But I feel like that 2008 Iron Bowl was the one. And I know the LSU game was big too. But that was the one where it was like, hey, there is a new sheriff here.
Man, that just the things that Saban were able to do, man, in his time at Bama is just, well, I'm ready for that 30 to drop. He's just like he has to get one, right? Like, we have to get a Saban 30 for 30 docu-series, because he won just that much.
It was crazy.
You know, it was absolutely crazy. And just to lose people and go back and reload, time and time again. And, I can see how people think him retiring was running from the NIL. And I just feel like if we had a younger Saban and he really just felt like he wanted to get his claws into this, it'll be 10 times worse.
Right.
But at this point in his career, man, it's just not worth the grind. It's not, man, but I'm just lucky to be a part of that legacy, to be honest with you. I'm just happy that I was at Bama during the time that we were able to add to that legacy, man. And just like I thought it was super dope that when we went up for A-Day, like I was able to walk up and show my kids my name in the Walk of Champions, It's just
Yeah.
like check this out. Like I'm up here twice and go over and show them the statues. Like this is my coach over here. My daughter thinks he's dead. I was just like, nah, that's a that's a living goat right there. That's a living legend. Don't wish him off just yet. Now, like, man, it's just like to be a part of something like that, man. It's just major. And I'm just so happy that he's here with us and he's retired in a time that we can continuously give him his flowers, man.
Yeah. Yeah. How does DeBoer take the Saban legacy and use it? We saw what the first year looked like. A lot of good, some bad, but a lot of good. I think that he did a really, really good job. All overall, it's not like we took a step back in recruiting. We didn't. We do. I think we got to finish strong in the state this year. And with NIL, I know that that's part of it too. I'm sure they don't want to offer people scholarships until the last minute now because you're just trying to figure out what the money looks like, and then all you're going to do is sit there and bid against yourself, unless you're positive that you have the right guy. Obviously he did a great job in the community. Everybody likes him. He's a good guy. He came on our channel, which is crazy to me. And he said he wants to come back again. Now, the team could have been more disciplined after success. That was kind of Saban's special recipe. But you're not as deep anymore. So how does he take all the stuff that Saban did and built and was built even before that, even going back to, Wallace Wade, whose statue's out there, and Frank Thomas and Gene Stallings. I love Gene Stallings. And said, what does he do?
Hey man, I think he just continues to cling on to the process and the standard that's been built so far. Like, absolutely do your own thing and push your own brand and identity on the team. But I still think it needs to fall within the box, like heavy on tradition, heavy on class, heavy on discipline, heavy on respect, right? Because those are all the things that kind of made Bama who we were and just who we continue to strive to be. Because just in a world of everything being about flash and celebrations and everything, and look at me. We need to keep it about the team, keep it about that brotherhood, that traditional culture that we have at Bama, and just continue to push that, man. Just continue to be classy young men in a sport that isn't so classy anymore. If we're being
Mm-hmm.
honest, it's because, like I said, it's all about all eyes on me. Look at me. Look what I can do. Look what I did. Um, and so if he just holds tight to that Bama structure that's already in place, that standard, and just push that NFL mentality that we have, that the numbers prove that we can continue to do. We can continue to put guys in the league because why? They're at Bama. They're playing against some of the best competition in the world. The SEC just put more players than any other conference in the NFL once again.
Right.
Um, like we still have all that surrounding us, and so if he just clings to that and continue to push that, and just continue to improve and continue to be a winning coach and be the coach that we know he can be, I think we'll be just fine because he hasn't lost in any one of his stops. He's always been a winning coach no matter where
Yeah.
he's been.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he'll continue that at Bama.
Guys, show's brought to you by Pearl River Resort over in Philadelphia, Mississippi. It's golf time, and they have an amazing golf course. It's called Dancing Rabbit Golf Course. It's the Augusta you can play. It is a really, really nice golf course. So take advantage of that and play the Azaleas, the Oaks. You got Philip M. Steakhouse. You got the casinos, Golden Moon, Silver Star, table games, an amazing slot selection. Some of the best slots out there. Also, don't forget about Timeout Sports Lounge, which is like a Vegas-style sports book right there at Golden Moon Casino, and a huge bar, all the games, and we appreciate them for their sponsorship. All right, let's talk a little bit of football here in this Alabama team. You want to run the ball, and you have made that very clear on this very show over and over again. How good can Jam Miller be in 2025, Alabama's starting running back?
Like, come on, man. The sky is the limit here. The sky is the limit. And just look how good he was in a limited capacity last year, right? Um, just a few touches a game, but he was mostly used as a lead blocker. You know, we treated him like an H-back back there, um, which was disrespectful in his own right. Because every time the man touched the ball, he produced. He produced. And so I'm definitely looking for him to make that leap if given an improved amount of carries this season, man, because it's right there. It's time for him to hit that next level. But it's for him, he deserves a coaching staff. He needs a coaching staff that believes in him, that believes he can get it done. And so hopefully Grubb, you know, reminder Grubb, just come on, man. We just want a few runs, you know, with the running backs, you know. Let Ty be a quarterback and feed those backs, man. Let those backs get out there and eat this year. My man Jam deserves it. He deserves it. He's been standing strong. He's loyal to the cause, you know, and let those big boys eat. If you want the O-line to get better, let them mold, let that chemistry build by establishing it in the run game, and we become a better team that way. We
Yeah.
commit to the run game first 4 to 5 games of the season, and watch how good we are in the back half of the season. And I want to see Jam do it, man. I know he can do it. We know he has the talent. We know he has the ability. And now let's just see him get these carries.
So, Jam, we saw him get the carries against Auburn, and he ran all over him, which was a beautiful thing. That was when we dropped the thumb on them boys. Poof, 5 in a row. Now we got to make it 6, but it's a long way away. I want to ask you this as a an offensive lineman. They say that Grubb is really in tune with the offensive line, and then you got Coach Cap, who's the offensive line coach. What does that mean when you hear, people say, hey, the offensive coordinator's really in with the offensive line, like coaching them and all of that stuff? What does that mean to you guys, and how does that work?
Because when it comes to play calling, that means he knows what we're good at and he knows what we're not good at. He's not just calling plays blind, you know. Because every offensive line has their strengths and weaknesses, okay? We may be an inside zone team compared to a counter team. We might want to get downhill right now. We may not be an outside running team. And those are things that if the OC is around the O-line and he's really watching those guys work and he sees the production they have and giving the play, he's able to call games better that way. He's not just, if we're not a screen team, he's not just out there calling screens 2-3 times in a row, and that's not what gets us going. And so to have your OC in the mix with what the O-line has going on, I feel like you get better game planning that way. You get better play calling. Like I said, he'll see what they're good at, and we'll stick to that and get those guys going.
Another running back question, and it has to do with recruiting. On3, the gang at On3, always on top of recruiting. They're saying that Alabama's trying to flip Javari Barnett, who has been committed to Illinois since April, and that as his senior year comes, he is hearing a lot from Robert Gillespie, obviously my cousin, and one of my favorite coaches at Alabama. Even I remember him running at Florida. No, I'm just kidding. I love Robert though. But Bama's trying to flip the 6 foot, 200-pound 3-star, according to kind of everybody in the industry, but started by On3. You went through this. I mean, you were going to go to Florida State. Jake Coker and you guys always laugh about your recruiting visit to Florida State when he was there, and you end up going to Bama. You were going to go there. How does all this work, man? What's it like? Like just like the phone calls that you get, the pressure. How are you constantly answering the phone? Is your family answering? Are they showing up at your house? I mean, how does it all work?
Man, the recruiting process is a little crazy, man. Because your phone does blow up. It's ringing off the hook. Everybody's reaching out to you, trying to see what's going on, trying to see what's in the mix. And if you're good enough, man, you have coaches pull up to your house. Nick Saban came and sat on my couch. Like
I'm in at that point.
Yeah, like that's the craziest thing, man. Just like Nick showing up to see me. And you like just me. He's like, I didn't even think I was that good of a lineman, dog. And Nick's down here to holler at me, but it can get a bit overwhelming, man. It's a lot to take in. It really is, and but it's a fun process. It's a fun process. Because like the people around you benefit from it as well. They get to see
Right.
all those things, man. They get to see all those coaches that they usually wouldn't see. And like I like to think about my nephew. Like my nephew was around when I was going through college period, and now he's a high school athlete playing football, and he knows what it looks like. He's used to that process, and you know he understands what it takes to be good at this thing. But just the whole recruiting process in general, man, it's fun. It's an experience to remember without a doubt, and it can be a lot. It can be a lot, especially when you're visiting multiple campuses. You get done with a game Friday night, lay your head down, you back up Saturday morning, 5
Mhm.
a.m., getting on the road,
Yeah.
going on recruiting trips, and at first it's fun, and then by the time your senior year, you're just ready for it all to be over. And I just want to say I'll never forgive Jake Coker for that visit at Florida State. We're not gonna get into that exact story, but he knows what I'm talking about. And I just want it to be known that I'll never forgive you, Jake, even though you're my boy. But yeah, man, you gotta make sure you have good hosts. You gotta have good hosts on these visits, man. You get people like Jake.
He's
Uh,
admitted that he wasn't a good host.
yeah, yeah. Thank God. Thank God he came out and said it, and people
I
won't
could
think I'm
see that
crazy.
about him. I could see that about him. You know what I mean? Like he's that kind of guy that if you really pressure him to do something, he'll just not do it. You know what I mean? Like you can kind of see that about him. Like, too much pressure. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, and if he do it, he does it the worst possible way he can. It's just like, ugh.
I can't wait for him to be on your show.
Yeah, man, come on, Jake. We gotta make it happen.
You're sit there and then he sits on the couch.
There we go. There we go.
just mess with him for 2 hours.
I like my spot on the couch, man. He can
You
keep
like
his
the couch
spot.
better?
Yeah, I like the couch.
No, it's comfortable. All right. Final topic of today's show. And guys, like and subscribe as you hang out. It's a way of saying roll tide. And Shank and I appreciate all of you guys being here on Mother's Day. The quarterback room at Alabama. Ty Simpson, we know is going to be the starter. At least he is right now. Austin Mack, the backup. And then everybody's kind of like waiting for Keelan Russell to be ready to do it. And we both saw him at the 8A game. Just you get it when you see him. Like the ball comes out of his hand and it's like he's throwing darts. It's just like, whew, whew, like so much spin on it, man. So much accuracy. But your take on where we are right now in the quarterback room, because it's like everybody's expecting Alabama. The over-under on Bama wins is like 9.5 at most casinos. Simpson hasn't been a starting quarterback, but like one time. And I mean, that's pretty high expectations. When you look at the schedule this year, especially the first 4 games, 3 of them are really tough.
Hey man, he knew what he signed up for. He stayed, so he knew what the expectation was going to be, and I think he'll be fine. He's sat behind some great quarterbacks, and he's been able to study and become a student of the game so far and get those mental reps in. But now it's his show. He has the keys to the Ferrari. He got to show up and make it happen. He has all the talent in the world. He has all the tools to get it done, man. So I think we should be able to make that leap going into the second season with the boy at the helm and having Grubb in there, who I think will be able to dial up some stuff that'll get them in some advantageous situations, right? And like I said, when we get that run game established, that'll help him a good bit as well. Because what helps a great passing game? Having a great run game. When you can get the run game going, it opens up that passing game. That's football 101. And so hopefully we see more of that this year. And I think we're in great hands, man. Like, Ty's going to be the vet guy, and then you got the young talent in Russell, and you got Mac backing up Ty. And the QB room's in a really good spot right now. But I think with us going with Simpson, we'll be able to make the leap this year, get at least 10 wins this year. But I'm aiming for playoff spot because we were so close last year. I don't think anybody will be satisfied with anything less than a playoff spot. And so I think we make it happen this year. I think we improve.
Yeah, I'm with you. The Bama standard can be solidified by DeBoer getting his system in place while holding on to that standard. And
Absolutely.
the discipline part of that, but having Ryan Grubb there is going to help out a lot. Well, guys, thank you for being here with us today. And we appreciate you coming over on Mother's Day. We don't want to hold you too long, but we do want to tell you this. NewLifeArt.com, promo code Bama Tailgate. I'm going to get Shank hooked up with his studio, a picture here coming up soon. I'm going to put the order in. I'll put the order in on Monday. So we'll get you hooked up because you got to have one. And then, I've got the wall of champions over here. You guys want this too. Pimp out your man cave the way that I did. NewLifeArt.com, promo code Bama Tailgate, 20% off when you order. So at the beginning, you'll say, where'd you hear about it? Bama Tailgate. At the end, when you do the promo code Bama Tailgate, take advantage of that over at New Life Art. And again, we're brought to you by Pearl River Resort over in Philadelphia, Mississippi. We appreciate them so much for doing this. Dancing Rabbit Golf Course is the Augusta you can play. The show will be down there at the end of the month with Jake Coker and me doing this and Cover Crimson. And we're gonna interview Steve Azar, the country singer, for at least that's what we're hoping to sit down with Steve Azar and find out what life's like as a country singer and a guy that had like one of the top 20 hits over the last 15 years. So
nice.
Big time hit. So we'll be down there doing that the final week in May for a couple days. But anyway, you guys come down, check it out. The Azaleas, the Oaks, Dancing Rabbit Golf Course. You got the Timeout Sports Lounge, which is a Vegas-style sports book right there in Golden Moon Casino, Silver Star, table games and slots, all that. They got everything you need over there, and you can find out for yourself. All right, Shank, great to see you, man. We'll do it again this week twice.
Let's do it. Roll Tide. Have a great one, y'all.
You too.
To Pearl River Resort.